Everyone, Corrie Thorne, spiritual teacher, intuitive. I'm coming in to do the monthly energy reader, coming in to do the monthly channeled messages for all my signs. I'm trying to get them all done, but right now I am working through, Capricorn right now. And so this is the energy of those born under that sign, or you have it in your chart and it may be resonating with you. If you're cross watching, then this may be for you. This is, so we're in December. Please remember, this doesn't place any medical, psychological advice that you've been given. This is to be taken as entertainment. And if you're cross watching and it resonates with you, then yay. And if it doesn't resonate with you at all this month, it's not for you. It's not for everybody, just like me. So, so this is now for Capricorn. And I don't know why, Capricorn. I feel like you're trying to leap yourself forward and miss the next month. Trying to miss December, trying to skip over December, trying to skip over January. There's a lot of low vibrating energy that I feel coming through, but I also feel some grounded, rooted, kind of getting some work done. I just heard for some of you, don't be an asshole. I'm sorry, but that's exactly what I just got. Don't be an asshole. Don't let this world turn you into something you're not. Because ultimately, all a Capricorn normally ever wants is for the good of the world. But that good of the world often turns you into, almost like sometimes it makes you frustrated, right? And so, but you also turn some people into pleasers. Like you always want to be the fixer and a pleaser. And if you're, and for some query, so for some of my Capricorns, if you're not needed, if you don't feel like you're needed, if you don't feel like that's there, because you're so programmed to being needed that you feel like, I don't know, it's almost like not worthy or discounted or something like that. And it's like, that this is a good time to really truly acknowledge that for yourself, because do we really need to be needed all the time? And what's coming up is that this is bringing, and so the 19th on the full moon, and then the winter solstice that's following on the 21st, I feel like it's like calling out your shadows. It's calling out, it's shining a light upon the areas where if you even say, oh, I think I know, I would say that if we're saying, I know, and we're still repeating the same cycles, then we don't know. And if we knew, we wouldn't be repeating it. If we knew it and we had it and we got it, then we'd have it. So there's something we don't know. So something that is a little bit deeper, that is a little bit below the surface or a little deeper, that is, that is just kind of starting to come to the surface, and you may have been suppressing it and not really wanting to face it, but you're being told this month is like, and now's a good time to do the inner child work, to do the inner child healing, because you, just like I just finished Aquarius, you also have that same lotus flower, like rising up and out. And so we have that moon area. We have, really truly of looking at shining a light up on those areas that you believe to be sometimes your personality, you believe to be your truth, but it's not really you. It's not really who you are. It's not what you are. And it's like, but sometimes it's limiting, and it's sometimes limiting your life, like the life you want to live, not your life, but limiting the life that you want to live. And so we have that inner child healing that's coming up largely. And I don't know where spirit just went, because spirit's been like so big in here, and it's almost like spirit just ran, it's almost like spirit just ran away when Capricorn came in. I don't know if some of you are intimidating and you're intimidating people right now, or you're trying to fear people into fearing you, to push them away, to drive them away from you. And if you're doing that, fucking stop it. Stop it. Let people in and learn to, and sometimes you got to learn to listen to people and absorb and to just have that sense of like gain a new perspective. Open up your hearts, open up your minds, open up your eyes, open up your, open you all up, because that's what it's trying to do. It feels like there's this opening, there's this door energy, this portal door energy. It's just saying, don't miss the good things in life. Don't miss out on joy and happiness to stay in any sort of misery. Because remember, anything that's happening in the physical world that we keep harboring, what we keep hoarding, what we keep supporting that is not healthy, turns into something that becomes internal within. And when it becomes internal within, it manifests itself in the body. And that's where the somatic body healing comes in, muscle memory. It remembers. And so every time the pain comes in and you complain with the pain, then you're not nurturing the pain, and you keep trying to fight through the pain. You keep trying to push beyond the pain. You keep trying to, so it's like everything that you need is to nurture in and say, what is it that what is it that's really hurting? What is it that I really truly am ready to look upon now with open eyes, open heart, to be present? And maybe you have people in your lives that you've been like kind of making fun of, or calling out, or calling down, or just saying, mimicking them in some way, or hating on them for who they are. And what you're recognizing is that some of that you're actually afraid, you're scared of it. And because it's some of those things that exist within you. But when those things exist within us, it means we have to take ownership and responsibility, and we have to be honest with ourselves. And so there's that's coming up, and that spirit moved out, and in came the big kahuna. So the big kahuna kind of energy, the wise ones, that wisdom, very like, it's like, see how I just moved aside? When that energy comes in, I move aside. It's just like being a freaking dragon walking into a room, and woof, and that's what it feels like. And that energy, that wisdom, just like moves us aside to just say, when are you listening? Are you going to listen? And so there is some real serious inner child healing, or young adult healing, or something that is coming up for you right now. And knowing that life goes in cycles, like everything has cycles. And and not even though cycles come around, not everything is the same. If it feels the same as it did 20 years ago, it has a lot of similarities, but it's not the situation from 20 years ago. So you can't compare it to 20 years ago. You can't compare it to the previous experiences. It has similarities, but a lot of things have changed. And so there's a lot of change happening around you. There's a lot of evolution, a lot of things you don't want to see change. And there's a lot of things that you actually like seeing change. But the biggest change that is happening that you're trying to hold on to is, for some of my Capricorns, you're trying too hard to hold on to what once was, what you once were, and not really willing to let go of some of the things that I feel like the healing energy is saying to you, let us help you through this. Let us guide you through this, because there is a lot of those body pains and aches, because my whole body's aching as I'm doing this, that is coming up, that's saying, are you ready to really truly acknowledge what the pain is and why the pain is so severe? So if it's crippling you, if it's holding you back, if it's, really truly nurture and love you, put that into action this month, and just know that, cycles break. Maybe a lot of my Capricorns are here to be cycle breakers. You're here to break the old cycles, the old patterns. So just because you got the hero biscuit for doing the right thing, of saying, I did that, I don't do the same things as my family did. I don't do it how my family did. But if you're harboring the emotions behind it, if you're harboring the stories, if you keep going to the past, if you keep comparing, if you keep doing that, if you still keep having like a hate on for anyone who represents or looks like that same story, then you haven't completed the cycle. You've done it to a certain degree, but you haven't fully finished it. So this month you're being told to really break the cycles, a lot of inner child healing, a lot of really paying attention to where we need to put the focus. There's a lot of shadow work that needs to be done for my Capricorn energy, not for all of you, but for a good portion of you this month. And it just feels like it's not in a way to pick on you. It's in a way of saying, it's time for you to start loving on you. It's time for you to start being kinder. There's a lot of love in the world, and I feel like a lot of you have a lot of love around you, and it's time for you to be able to embody it, be a part of it, not be on the outside of it, to be able to come into it, to enjoy it, to be with it, to be present. And it's like, just let us sprinkle the good shit upon you, because then we also have I have an ace of water that's coming in. And so this whole sense of like, holding your own pearl, becoming that pearl that, you know, no matter how do pearls forms, right? It's that little grain of sand, and it just with the irritation, and it's just, it evolves, right? It evolves from one little speck of sand and dirt, and it just keeps growing into this pearl. And so this pearl is like being this, the magic. So in the magic of love and light, it is trying to bring up that, trying to give birth to the newest, to the best, to the truest version of you. And it's being, and it's saying, you know, like, let us help you up. Let us guide you up, because it's coming, you're coming. And whether you want it or not, you're on your way. And so I'm like, so messed up my pearl story. But channel don't talk so much this human stuff so well. But you know what I mean? You get it. You get it. It's like we form, you know, we start as this little seed, and we, you know, we become this beautiful gem, this beautiful glowing thing. But it doesn't mean it's perfectly shaped or perfected. It means it's perfect the way that it is. And you know, one of the keys of coaching is to say we're all okay. We're all okay. And we all have a good intention, right? Everyone starts out with a good intention. And it's something that we believe to be true in our hearts. So you may have been holding on to what you believe to be something that was a truth for you, but maybe it was a truth that followed through the suit of 20 years ago, and not really of who you are evolving into today. So we can change our mind, change our stories, and we can evolve and grow with who we're becoming, so that we don't have to stay stuck. It's like we're trying to wear the same clothes you wore 20 years ago, same thing. And, you know, it's like we burst out of the skin, we get, you know, as our souls, our spirit starts to evolve, it's like we burst out, and we just need to let ourselves be bigger than what we were. And so that's not big ass unhealthy ego. It is big in our healthy ego, big in truth, and knowing who we are, and loving on ourselves. So loving on ourselves, loving on others, and being kind. Don't be an asshole to yourself. Don't be an asshole to anyone else. Don't let that world get to you. Truly come into you. Let yourself be filled with love. And I love you dearly. Much love, and have a beautiful month. And I hope this message resonates with you. And if not, then it wasn't for you. Mwah. Bye-bye.